Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask Me Anything. I'm spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White, and today is April 4th, 2024, just a few days before the big total solar eclipse, which we're going to be talking about tonight. Let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Sylvia from Liverpool. Oh, thanks, honey, for staying up. It's 1 a.m. there. Thank you for staying up. And your birthday is September 10th, which makes you an ace of diamonds. And guess what, Sylvia? We have another set of eclipses that come in September and October. And the next two sets will be September 17th. So I will tell you this, Sylvia, your life is about ready to change totally. Anybody who's born around that period of time. And we're going to talk all about eclipses today. And I've got 4 great tips for the eclipse. So thanks for tuning in. Everybody, has it been a wonky energy time? I mean, we're going to talk about the wonky energy. Oh my gosh. And I know if you're an empath out there, you are totally feeling this energy. It's like you can't get grounded. You know, I've had all kinds of friends that are mediums and psychics and healers, and they're calling me saying, I can't get grounded. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. Okay. Hi, Denise from snowy Boston. Okay, let's just talk about the snow right now. We had a whiteout here in Wisconsin. We had a whiteout a couple of days ago. And then Renee, my producer, had a big snowstorm today, and he lives in Northern California. So it's kind of fascinating, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Hi, Sherry Kraft. And your birthday was Monday, and you saw lots of 2s for 3 days and lots of 3s and 4s. Well, I would say, you know, since your birthday was right in the middle of these 2 eclipses, Sherry, your life will change a great deal. Anybody that was born from the last eclipse, which was March 25th, to this eclipse on April 8th, and particularly if you were born on that March 25th day or April 8th, which we're going to talk about today, your life will definitely change. Eclipses bring change, great change. And this eclipse, I think, is probably the most powerful one that we've had, particularly since it does go through the United States. And I have a map that I'll show everybody, but it goes through the United States. And the last time we had one that went through the United States was on August 21st, 2017. And I do know how much my life changed from that eclipse. And then the time before that in the United States that a full eclipse went through was the year 1918. Think about that. The next one that will hit through the United States will be in 20 years from now. So this is a very significant period of time that we're living in. And if your birthday is right around now, I'd say real big change here coming, very big change. In fact, we're going to talk about this, but this is one of the maps I have that shows it actually goes through Mexico and part of Mexico. And then it goes from Mexico into Texas and then up, you know, through Oklahoma and Indiana and some parts of Michigan and Ohio, and then it goes to the east and it hits in New York. I mean, it's a huge eclipse. It's just enormous. And if you're in that totality part, wow. In fact, if you can snap a picture of this, has totality over Texas. And when it says totality, what that means is that the sun will be completely eclipsed by the moon, that you will not see any light. It will actually be very, very dark, very, very blackout, actually. Totality over Texas. I mean, we'll go through all of this again, but thank you, Renee. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Nettie. Hi, Christy. Hi, Ellie. I did have a wonderful time with my family in Texas. Thank you. And I made the big girl decision not to stay in Dallas-Fort Worth for the eclipse. Instead, I went to Grandparents' Day, and it was so much fun. I really had fun, and I was so glad that I went to Grandparents' Day. It was a really sweet thing. And it was either Grandparents' Day or the total eclipse, because I couldn't stay gone that long. So it was interesting. That was the decision, the choice that I made. My little brother, Theo, who you've heard me talk about, Theo Katzman, he's in the band Wolfpack, and he also is his own, has his own identity as a musician, aside from being in the band of Wolfpack. but they are the headliners in Austin during the eclipse, because there's a big musical festival going on for that. So they're one of the headliners there. And I said to Theo, your life's going to change, a big launching off again for that. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Tom. Hi, Carrie East. We plan your weeks around our shows. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I didn't see any questions from you and Rick today. I was like, hey, did I miss them? I don't think I saw them. Hi, Chrissy. Hi, Kim Ann. And Kim Ann sent me a really interesting article, and it was actually a little video of animals in the zoo in 2017 during the North American eclipse, and how it really shook up a lot of these animals. So I want everybody who have pets, I don't care what kind of pets they are, please keep an eye on them, because this energy is a real thing, and it really pulls at all of us, and it causes a lot of chaos, and it's confusing, because all of a sudden, especially if you're in the eclipse path, it will get dark. And when the sun is eclipsed by the moon and it's dark, it's going to be very cold. So you have to think like that for us, and also for the animals. Please, please watch your animals. Their behavior is going to be, it's probably already started. Like I know my good friend Vicky, her cat Piper is already running around and, acting, a little wonky. And I think that everybody's animals are. I know I'm going to have to keep a good eye on Charlotte and Otis here. Hi, Lori Counts, and you'll have to watch Kiko. I know that. Oh, yeah, I love my tulips too. These Dawn just brought me these, which I love, yellow and pink. I love them. Hi, Lori Young. I understand. I want to talk about dreams, because I did read your email, Lori. I just haven't had time to respond to it yet. But watch your dreams right now, because this eclipse is putting us right at the veil. The veil will be very thin. And when I talk about the veil is between this dimension and the other side. And so the veil is going to be very, very thin. So what does this mean? Well, you'll probably be able to feel your loved ones easier. I'm going to talk about things to do during this eclipse. And one of them is to be in meditation, particularly if you have loved ones that you want to contact. You don't have to be a medium to contact your loved ones. You're talking to them, they're very close, and the veil is very thin. So that's one thing. And the other thing is, if you are a psychic medium, and I know a lot of you are that watch the show, watch your dreams. You may be getting and receiving information of things happening or things that have just happened, or it's amazing how spirit will work with you on this. And if you're not a psychic or a medium and you're having these visions or dreams, write them down, because the one thing about this eclipse that's important is it means to end something or some things or many things, because it's a transition eclipse. And it is, and in Vedic astrology, it's in Pisces, and Rahu is in Pisces at this eclipse. And Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and this is in the last nakshatra. There are 27 celestial houses, and this is the last one. It's called Revati, and that makes the last Pisces as the last sign in the last celestial house. It means completions and ends. So let's say you've had family drama, family trauma, family, I don't know why I'm saying family, relationship, work, things that you've carried for a long time, secrets. And I've heard a lot of family secrets lately that all families seem to have. It's a wildest thing. Things like this, all of a sudden, things like this are going to start to come up. You've been carrying that load too long. So you'll start to, this is an eclipse that will make changes in your life, things that you don't have to carry on any further. Okay, so just remember that I'm saying that, because it's a very, very unique time and a unique opportunity for doing a lot of things. But let's talk about this eclipse, because it's such a big one, and the duration of totality. So so it starts, let me just back up. The eclipse in the Midwest, Central Time, starts around 1 in the afternoon, and it goes to about a little after 3 p.m. So, do the math where you are. And on my website, I'll probably tomorrow have a sign up that will say exactly the times of this. But the duration of the totality, again, is when it gets completely dark. So where I live on a farm in Wisconsin, I think I read that we're about 93% where I am in Wisconsin. Some parts of Wisconsin are at 80%. Some parts of where I think in Los Angeles, it's probably around 50, 55% or something, which means that it won't get fully dark. It will only get fully, completely black and dark at the complete totality, okay? And the duration of this totality, that means it's going to be dark in this eclipse for 4 minutes and 27 seconds. It's a long time, okay? It's a really long time. And it brings out great emotion. People that have been eclipse followers, why do you think they follow eclipses? It's like it's an emotional high, if you will. I mean, it's really something. I have never been to a full eclipse or total eclipse like this. I have not. On 2021, I was here in Wisconsin on the farm. I wasn't living here at the time, but we were having an eclipse party because I was a little naive, probably even about eclipses. I knew they were important. I was probably a little naive. And it's funny, I said to myself, oh, my life's going to change. Oh, that's an understatement. And we were only at 80, maybe 85% totality. No, at that time, no, I take that back. We were at 93%, about where we are now. Oh, great. But anyway, so 4 minutes and 27 seconds, and that is double the Great American Eclipse of August 21st, 2017. It's double. It's going to be twice as much. And the 2017 total solar eclipse was witnessed by 20 million people. That's in the totality, okay? But this one is going to be double that. So this is a huge amount of people in the world, because it is Mexico will feel it and see it in its totality. A lot of Mexico, not all of it. There's a path there. Lots of parts of the United States, lots of them, and into Canada. In fact, I actually heard that what is that place up in New York? That they had something like 1 million people that were going to be at the Niagara Falls, that like 1 million people were going to be going there. Can you imagine? I think that's going to be insane. But anyway, this great North American total solar eclipse occurs with the Vedic Lunar New Year. This is unheard of. I mean, it's just very rare. It happens every 18 and a half years, but it's pretty unusual because it happens to fall at this really large eclipse that we're having. And the Vedic New Year is so important because in astrology, what Vedic astrologers do is they cast the chart. They make the chart for the world based on the new moon in Pisces, in sidereal Vedic astrology, Pisces. And that will symbolize all the karmic things and the trends for the year to come. But because these two events occur concurrently, it suggests a year of dramatic events, okay? And that brings turmoil throughout the world, but especially where the eclipse is actually that visible, and I'm saying the United States. It's a really, really big, huge deal. And what eclipses do is they trigger events in our life. I go back to the eclipse of July of, I think it was July 31st of 2000. And 10 days after that big solar eclipse, I had a traumatic brain injury and my life completely changed. I wouldn't be doing this if that had happened. I'd still be selling hot dogs. So, I mean, can bring great change that puts us on the road we were supposed to be on, the road that we're meant to be on. Because don't forget, before we are born, before we incarnate, we have a list of the things that we want to accomplish. We are going to do this and we're going to do that. But as you know, life kind of throws us in one direction and we get kind of stuck in one area. And so what happens is these eclipses come in and they shake us up. And when they shake us up, I mean, in my case, I was literally shaken up and moved. And but it all worked out well. Of course, first few years were rough, and then it worked out. So they do put us on the road where we're supposed to bring. And a solar eclipse brings it means actually a shift in consciousness. Now, this eclipse is also so important because aside from the eclipse, and I'm going to tell you everything that goes on the 8th because it's such a powerful day, but we also have another major event coming on on April 20th, and that's the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. And when that happens, it also brings an enormous change of consciousness. So let's say you have been walking, down a spiritual road. It will really put you in a spiritual place because it will align with your soul. And that's what these major events in April this month are going to do for us. They're going to put us in a place where we need to be. So, and remember this, the eclipse that we had on May 25th, that was a lunar eclipse. And I was talking about the Gandanta degree, which was for Mercury. That Gandanta degree is where it goes from a water sign Pisces into a fire sign Aries. And it happened that Mercury literally changed from Pisces into Aries on March 25th. And that's Gandanta. Gandanta means a knot. It means drowning. It means like a karmic knot. It's a very intense time. And it brings, as I said on the show I did on Monday, I said it brings, a couple of Mondays ago, I said it brings problems in water and ships. And sure enough, just a few hours later, there was the bridge collapse with the ship. That's a Gandanta. So this eclipse that we have on April 8th, this total solar eclipse, is going to be at 25 degrees of Pisces. As I mentioned, it's the last sign in the zodiac, and it's in Revati Nakshatra, which is the last celestial house, and that means great change and transformation. But also on April 8th, during the solar eclipse, Mercury is now in retrograde. Before it was not in retrograde. It is in retrograde, which means really slow down here. And Mercury likes to go very fast. And it moves from Aries, in the wonkiest thing, it moves back into Pisces. So now it's going from fire back into water. What is that? Gandanta. And when Mercury is in Pisces, it's very weak. It's called debilitated. It's very weak. So watch all of your computer stuff, your any kind of communications before you send an email. Watch it. Computers will break. Phones will break. This is not a time at all, if you can, not to sign a contract. It is not a time to do that. It's such a challenging energy because people are not going to be thinking straight. Okay. And so we've got that on April 8th. So we've got the eclipse. We've got this Mercury retrograde in this Gandanta degree. Now, here's another thing that we have, and this is very challenging. We have this war between Mars and Saturn. They're going to be completely conjunct next to each other on the 9th and 10th, but they're right there on the 8th, okay? I mean, really close. And Mars and Saturn are enemies. They're not frenemies, they're enemies. They do not like each other. Mars is war, and Saturn is karma and government and health. And these two do not like each other. I always use this as an example. Mars puts on the gas. I mean, it wants to just go, and Saturn puts on the brake. So it's a very challenging time because what this will bring up, what I would say, is political upheaval. It could bring war, and this could be anywhere in the world. I'm talking about rebellion, a lot of riots. It also can bring up earthquakes and floods, and I know that Gandanta also can bring up earthquakes and floods. And I know that there was a big earthquake in Taiwan just, again, a couple of days ago, I think it was. So we're going to see a lot of changes on Earth because of this exact energy that's coming out right now. And also, just know this, events on a solar eclipse, and that's what I was going to say, with a lunar eclipse, it happens pretty quickly. On a solar eclipse, it does not. it's like a slow torture almost. It's so maybe nothing will happen, although because of that Saturn and Mars next to each other, that's pretty intense, really intense. So I'm not sure about that. That's going to be a radical time the next few days after the eclipse. But what happens is during a solar eclipse, the energy, you may not know right away, but maybe 2, 3, 4 months out, things start to change in your life, and up to 6 months, and frankly, up until May of 2025, that this eclipse will be felt. And some astrologers are saying 10 years even, because it's such a big deal. And don't forget, we also have the other 2 eclipses because they come in pairs. The first one is September 17th, and the second one is October 2nd. And they are also in Pisces, Virgo, and that's what we are now, or Virgo, Pisces. And so it's the same. So it's going to be, again, this is quite a year. Okay, but I feel like Carol Merrill, but there's something more. Additionally, because it's like I feel like I can't make this stuff up. I just can't even believe this. But there's a thing called the Devil Comet, and that comes out. The last time was 1954, and that Devil Comet comes every 71 years. And guess what? It's going to be there on April 8th. What? And they call it that because apparently looks like it's got horns. I don't know. But it's also in the sign of Aries. Aries is associated with war and conflict. So what do we do on this date, on April 8th? And I've got 4 tips for you. But this is not a day to start anything new, okay? It's not a day. Please do not put your crystals out. Okay, really, this is just certainly not a day to do that. But I'm going to give you 4 tips. And they'll be posted on my social media too. But here's the first number 1 tip for April 8th. Do not make important life decisions for 3 days before the eclipse, which I believe starts tomorrow, the day of the eclipse, and 3 days after the eclipse. Do not make important life decisions during that time. Why is that, Kelly? Because the energy is going to be chaotic and disruptive. So do not make any. I'm about ready to make some changes to the work that I do in a good way, in a positive way. And I'm working with a person to help me with this. And I said, no, we can't do anything until April 15th because nothing's going to work anyway right now. The energy is just not good. The second tip I'm going to say is cancel your plans and stay home. Do nothing. It's a great day to rest because the energy is intense. Now, I know you're going to say, Kelly, I have to work. I know my daughter did. She goes, I have to go to work. My daughter's a psychologist. She said, I've got to go to work. And I'm like, I would stay home if I were you. But okay. But, and I understand if you can't stay home. If you can't, then find out the time of where you are when the eclipse is. And, just maybe do a meditation. You get real still, because that's a day. James and I are going to do a show on Monday night, but that's a real good day to stay home. Number 3, eat lightly and don't have any alcohol that day, because there's a belief that during the eclipses that the atmosphere is filled with negativity and negative energy. So to counteract that, they say to eat fresh vegetables and fruits and grains and broth, anything that's nourishing, because it's conducive to maintaining a clear mind, because people are not going to be grounded, and there will be so much emotion that is evoked from this eclipse. And if you are in the totality of this eclipse, which I know a lot of you are, it's going to be it brings up all kinds of emotions. And if you are there, feel the emotions and journal about the emotions, because it'll be an interesting thing, like what comes up. Maybe it will deepen your spirituality. And I've heard that from many people. And the 4th tip, and I really mean this, do some sort of a special ceremony during the eclipse, like maybe light candles, pray, talk to your loved ones on the other side, meditate. Great day to meditate, a great day to journal. And all of the efforts that you put in, all your spiritual efforts that you put in on that day, those intentions will be amplified immensely. So do all that. Do not put your crystals out. Remember, I'm saying that. Not a day for crystals. Okay? So I think that's enough for the astrology today, but I wanted to I wanted to go through this. Okay, MK, do you need to be in the path to have a shift in consciousness or change? Great question. No, you do not have to be in the path to have a shift of consciousness. Great question, though. And March 5th, and it's funny, March 5th is a very important day because that is a 5 of Spades day, which means great change. Also, 5 of Spades loves the experience, but 5 of Spades comes for a huge shift in consciousness. So you do not have to be in totality to have it. Everybody in the world will be affected by this eclipse. It happens to be particularly Mexico, the United States, and Canada that will be, and it is going through, Texas. And politically, it's probably going to cause a lot of issues, but it will change a bunch of consciousness is what I believe will happen. So it's going to be quite a time here that we have. So Loretta Arndt says, we are expecting rain here. Are you in Southern California? Really, on the eclipse day? I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that if that's correct. Wow, that's something. And hold on a second here. Let's see. Oh, here, MGG says 98 people are listening as watching. However, there are only 8 likes. Please hit the like button if you like what you are seeing. Your like matters. Oh, thank you, MGG. I so appreciate that. Please hit like and share and all of that. I always forget about that. Also, thanks for reminding me, because I am teaching a class along with Janelle Campbell for starseeds. And if you're a starseed, and please, or if you think you are, if you know somebody, join our online event. It's May 10th in the United States and May 11th early in the morning in Australia. And Janelle Campbell is a fabulous teacher, and she's going to be doing an incredible meditation to connect you with where you might be from, and to receive information. And we're going to talk about, what is a starseed? Do you feel differently? Did you feel differently your whole life? Where are you possibly from, and why are you here? Because starseeds love this kind of information. And turned out that Janelle and I, we just love this topic. This is like our favorite topic. So we're really excited to teach together. And Janelle's a great teacher. You guys would love this class. So please join us. And if you can't be there live, if you purchase it, it's going to be recorded. We'll send it to you. Okay, but after it's done, we're not going to be selling it after that. But please join us, because that's going to be so fun. I love this. Okay, and I have a lot of questions. And thank you, guys. Hazel Holdridge, I have to say, you said you're on your way tomorrow to Texas to watch this wondrous event. Hazel, hold on. That's going to be quite an extreme experience. Get in touch with your emotions, and it's exciting. It is exciting. It will be I've heard people say that after the birth of their children, that it's the most exciting thing that they've experienced. I mean, it's otherworldly. So Kim Ann Snodgrass asked a great question, and she said, Kellee, she heard me say that my mother was born on an eclipse. She was, and she passed on an eclipse. She did. My mother was a force of nature. And she said, what does that mean for her or anyone else? So if you're born on an eclipse, because people were writing to me saying, Kellee, my birthday is April 8th. I was born on April 8th. But if you were born, and which is huge because your lives will change. But if the day you were actually born, you were born on an eclipse. I will say Donald Trump was born on a lunar eclipse. I have to just throw that out. My mother was born on an eclipse, and she passed on an eclipse. If you're born on an eclipse, it brings you some sort of special energy. Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, I literally did my mother's memorial, and I said she was a force of nature, because she was. And then she passed on an eclipse. I mean, it was like, what? It was unbelievable. Yeah. So it gives you this special kind of energy. That's all the way I could say it. Okay, Jody W. She says, Kellee, I am close to the eclipse path, but not in the path of totality. Would it be better to take a short drive to be in the path of totality? Better as far as positive energy and transformation. I've had a lot of heavy emotions bubble up in the past few weeks, which everybody, I want everybody to know that, notice that if you are too, because most of the people I deal with on a daily basis are now having a lot of heavy emotions bubble up. She said, it's tough, but I'm embracing the process and I would love to get the most growth out of this as possible. Here's the thing, Jody. And if you really want to have the experience, I get it. I probably would not, because you're already having a lot of emotions bubble up. And I think wherever you are, you're going to already start to experience it. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to make that drive. I probably would stay, for me personally, I'm going to stay out of that area. Again, I could have done it. I could have stayed in Texas, and I just didn't feel comfortable. For me, the travel, and that's the other thing. If you are traveling right now, because Mercury is retrograde and will be Gandanta on that eclipse, airplanes are going to be a challenge. I was really happy, and James called to check on me twice. I got in and out of Texas. I was really glad that I was able to, it was an easy flight. So I think you have to really watch traveling right now, because things are going to go cattywampus. I like that word. And also, delays, because Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is weakened and debilitated, will make things more challenging. So bring your patience. I would say that. And your birthday is 5/13, May 13. And May 13 is 6 of diamonds. Oh, I love 6 of diamonds. Financial responsibility. Karen Gasparini Martin. Okay, happy solar eclipse to you. I'm going to give you a heads up, and I know your birthday is July 7th, and that's an 8 of diamonds day. And Karen, for you, this is what I would say. Because of that major conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter, you're going to see your art go whoop like this for healing you, for healing others, for healing the world, because you're an extraordinary artist. Okay, so that's what I think that is going to happen. I do. I think that's going to be an amazing thing. Okay, Gail Hayden said, my aunt, who is turning 82 on April 8th, was very suddenly taken ill and admitted to a hospital this week. I'm very concerned for her. Here's the thing. And she said, can I do a reading for her? The thing is, regarding her health, this is because it's Pisces Virgo, the last one was Virgo and this one is in Pisces, it will have a lot to do with health. And because her birthday is on the eclipse, you'll have to really watch her health. I don't know which direction it will go, but you have to really, take good care of her. Okay, I would say that. Okay, I love this question. This is from Rachel Rogertson. She says, Kellee, I have a daughter due with her baby towards the end of the month. With all the craziness in the cosmos, does this make her an advanced soul? And your birthday is 12/14. So your birthday is December 14, which is a 4 of clubs like me, which we have quite a life, don't we? These 4 of clubs, we're going to get out there. First of all, congratulations on the baby. That's very exciting. And the baby's due at the end of the month. So the end of the month, Mercury will be direct. A lot of the crazy energy will have already occurred. But remember this, Rachel. Yeah, that makes her a very advanced soul. All the souls that are coming in now, they have to be advanced. See, in order to sign up from the other side to come to Earth, when I say sign up, but I really think we do sign up. In order to sign up, we have to be at a certain vibration that is needed on Earth. And so, I was born in the late 50s, and I have a certain vibration. And if my daughter was born in the 80s, different vibration. My grandchildren were born just recently, a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, different energy. And a soul prepares for this vibration. It'll be just fine and wonderful, and you're going to love the heck out of that one. Okay. Okay. So Jen Tran, you're transitioning to a new life in Santa Barbara and feel like this has been a real struggle to start a new life here. I need guidance and some hopefulness to exhale, because I'm feeling as if I'm gasping for air and not breathing with the flow of life. Jen, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. This is a great thing, because right now it's a perfect time to start a new life. And your mother on the other side will help you, honey. You're going to, I've got chills on that. I think it's going to be a really great thing for you to do. Okay, I do. And I think it's a very important thing that you're doing here. Okay, I want to get a card. Before I forget, I want to get a card for some people here. Vicki, I have a card from you. Here we go. I am from your husband. I am standing right next to you. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. It looks just like him. I'm standing right next to you. That is so funny. Oh, Kathy Larson, first time viewer. Well, thanks, honey. Ardelia from South Australia. Hi, Ardelia from South Ardelia. Let's get you a card from your guides. Okay, and Kathy Larson, I'm going to get you a card too from your guides. First time viewer. Watch. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate that. Okay, Kathy Larson, this is for you. I love this. Calm. This is from Spirit Guides, from James's Spirit card deck. Calm is not a weakness. I love that one. Calm is not a weakness. I love that one. And Ardelia, here we go for you. Focus on the positive. Focus on the positive. There you go. I love it. Oh, and Teresa from Western Australia. Good day. Teresa and everybody from Australia that's watching, join our Starseed class in Australia. It's May 11th. Renee, could you pop that up again on May 11th, please, since we have so many people. And Janelle Camel from Australia, she lives in Sydney. Oh my gosh. If you don't know Janelle, she's going to be on our show Monday with James, and it's going to be 3 mediums talking about how we work with the dead, or they will call themselves very alive, but for joke, we call them the dead. But anyway, she's going to be on our show. And you guys, if you don't know who Janelle is, you'll love her. She's great. She's a great teacher. So please join us. Judith Muratano. Hi, Kellee. 9/11, amazing energy. Oh, thanks, honey. 9/11. And that's after working all day. Imagine that. September 11th. Okay, September 11th. I don't know why I don't memorize this one. King of Clubs. King of Clubs. So you're a female with a male brain. They can get through anything. Anybody who's born on 9/11, strong, strong, strong soul. Okay, Diane. Diane Galis. I hope I'm saying your name right. And you're from Calgary. Well, welcome. September 24th, and you feel ungrounded. So let's talk about that, everybody. A lot of people are feeling ungrounded. So Diane, if it's possible, to go outside, take your shoes off. Now, we have snow here, so I can't do it. But walk around barefoot or walk around on something and drink a lot of water, eat very light foods, for your system. And often meditation is very good for that. Sometimes calling a friend or somebody that you love or that loves you is really good to get grounded too. If you know anybody like that somebody is, that, you know how we have certain people in our life, some of us do, that, they're like a touchstone, and it's very calming. So maybe you can do that too. But everybody, I'm telling you, there's so many, I can't say everybody, but most people I know are feeling ungrounded right now. And that will pass, honey, that will pass. And you're September 24th, which is a King of Hearts. And again, a female with a male brain and a giant heart, which I love that. So I hope that helps you. Lori Della Neva Sherbrooke. I messaged you earlier. Can you let me know here in North Dakota, what time would we be seeing the eclipse? Just put, I don't know in North Dakota. You'd have to actually look, because I don't know it. It's an exact time per city even. So if you could, Lori, just go online and put the town that you live in North Dakota on September 8th, what time is the eclipse? And I'm going to guess it's between 1 and 3. I think that you are either in the Midwest. I think that's considered Midwest. Vicki Nason, you love Theo, right? And my brother Theo is something else. Yeah, he's something else. Oh my gosh. Carolyn, thank you, honey. I so appreciate that. Patty, I love blue is my color. I do love that. Oh, okay. So Betty Scott. So let's talk about Elizabeth Scott here. If anybody is looking for an incredible therapist on the East Coast, Elizabeth Betty Scott is an incredible therapist, and she's spiritual, and she's got room in her practice. So it's amazing. And Renee, could you put her information up? It's from Psychology Today, and I think you have her information there. If you can, Renee is going to put up your information, and you can look her up. She's a wonderful therapist. She's kind. She's an empath and really smart, and deeply understands spirituality. So if you're looking for a good therapist, you can find her. Renee, you'll be able to put her information up on the site, I hope, because we did. And if you can't find it, it's under Elizabeth Betty Scott Psychology Today. Okay, and hopefully we will have
I put it in the comments.
Oh, you put it in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody can click the link. Yep.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay, Laura Crum. She says, Kellee, my birthday is 4/1, April 1. So April Fool's Day, 7 of spades. And right in between these eclipses. So Laura, your life will change. She said, when I saw your post, I immediately thought of the song Bonnie Taylor, Total Eclipse of the Heart, right? Remember that song? I can remember the older generation saying that a total solar eclipse was a sign of renewal. And that is so true. And some said death. That's been true too. I really believe a lot of people are going to exit because it's a vortex of energy. And I think it's a portal that opens up. And I believe that the veil is thin. And I think a lot of people will be exiting and a lot of people will be coming in. There'll be a lot of births during this time too. It's a fascinating time to be alive. I'll say that. It was more of a time, she said, when we had no perception of time. That's true. And so it really is about regeneration and regenerating ourselves. And that it really is. So I appreciate what you said, honey. It is true. Okay, Chris Liebelbein says, Kellee, my birthday is April 8th. Okay, if you are born on April 8th, this year, there happens to be a total solar eclipse, your life will change. It will change. So let's say you were tired of your job, or the relationship wasn't working, or you just knew you had to, like a lot of us know, we intuitively know what we're supposed to do. But a lot of us go, oh, I can't do that because A, B, C, D, E, whatever. And honestly, I think I was that way. Years ago, I remember thinking, well, I'd like to do this, but I can't do this because I'm doing that. And then it's funny how eclipses kind of go, whoosh, boom, and they just put you right over the edge almost on things. But if your birthday is this day, I would say a tremendous amount of change is going to happen. Okay, Patty D, putting water outside for the eclipse day. Will it energize more? I would not be putting water out, Patty. This is not a time to put water out for the eclipse. It's not, this is a new moon. Yes, full moon, we put water out for full moons. And that was the lunar eclipse that we had. But this, I would not be putting anything out during this at all. I just would not. At all. I think because the energy is just too intense. Okay, Lori Clark, does it matter that I was born at 5:55 on April 7th? Wow, Lori, that's extraordinary. So all those fives mean you're here for change, 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 and to connect. Fives connect with everybody. Very powerful time. You know, another person that was born at that time is Prajna Avalon, the wonderful healer. And if you guys are looking for a wonderful healer, Prajna Avalon is a fabulous healer, and I love working with her. And in fact, I have a session coming up this week with her. She's extraordinary. And she was born at 5:55. So whenever I see that, I always think of her with that. And you were born on April 7th? Big change, Lori, for this period, for the next year and a half, probably, next even 2 years. I mean, these really are big times. These are large times, as they say. Okay, Mary Snyder, I live in Buffalo, New York. Great, and you are in the totality of it. A lot of people are going here. She said, you're just about, everybody I know is having effects of all of this, retrograde and crazy. Yes, it will be a crazy time, Mary, and it's going to be life-changing for you. It will be extraordinary for you just to have the experience. And I will tell you, if you are in the totality, there will be so much emotion because you just can't believe. Can you imagine, hundreds of years ago, before we had any of this, any kind of technology, can you imagine what it was like for people all of a sudden to go through this complete darkness over the world and then light again? I would have been scared out of your mind. I mean, it's a very unbelievable time. Wanda Man says, hi, I'm so excited I'm catching you live. Oh, yay. Change is kind of scary. It is. And I like feeling safe. And if you have time, a card from your husband, Russell. Well, let's get you a card from your husband, Russell, honey. Let's get you a card from that. He says, I see all of your thoughts. I see all of your thoughts. Hi, Katie Figueroa. I'm going to get you a card from your mom, honey. Hi, Katie. Your mom says, we are soulmates. That's a sweet one. We are soulmates. That's a sweet one. I was a soulmate with my mom, too. And I love it. Hi, Laurel Davies. Okay, Connie Epley says, I know something is going to change for me. The eclipse is on my first sign, Aries, in my house. Yes. If you have any Aries in your chart, if you have any Pisces in your chart, if you have any Virgo in your chart, if you have any Leo in your chart, things are going to change. My rising is Leo. I can already imagine. Oh my gosh, what I can already imagine. Mark Brevard. Hi, Mark. How's your music coming, honey? Hi, Kellee. I have dreams of flying and smiling. I'm happy. I'm thrilled to hear that. When you have dreams of flying, let me tell you what that is. Your consciousness is lifting. Your consciousness is raising. And by the way, this eclipse is going to raise our consciousness. Now, we might have to go through a lot of stuff to get there. And that's how we grow and change. So that's very important to remember. Okay, Ellen Bergen says, Kellee, what does the eclipse on April 11th, Saturn return, mean for you? So if your birthday is April 11th, I think that's what you mean. Ellen, what does the eclipse plus April 11th, Saturn? Well, Saturn return, if depending on, I can't tell how old you are, 28 if you were having a Saturn return, usually it's 28, 29, 30. There's a Saturn return, which I'll explain in a minute. And if you're 58, 59, 60, usually there is a Saturn return about that period of time. So Saturn, when it comes around, when it returns, Saturn is, when we're young, 28, 29, 30, we have a Saturn return. It's where life gets serious. It's where we are in a committed relationship. We have a baby. We have a career. Those kind of like life gets serious. Second Saturn return comes about 58, 59, 60. Life gets serious again in a different way because the second Saturn return comes with Jupiter, and Jupiter brings wisdom. Jupiter is the spiritual guru and brings wisdom. And so what's important about that is often 58, 59, 60, we start looking at our life and we say, I've done the corporate America, I've done this, I've taught, I've done all this. What do I want to do now? Now, often, too, it's a time where often it can happen. It happened to me, but it happens. We lose a parent or both parents usually during that period of time as well. Not always, but there's usually a loss of something. Or we move. I lost my mom and I moved. Seriously. And it was after that eclipse of 2017. Oh, my gosh. Hi, Cam from Vancouver, and you are August 30th. So you're 9 of Hearts. I love 9 of Hearts. My mother was August 31st. 9 of Hearts is all about completing this lifetime with learning about emotions. So whenever anybody hears me say heart, it's all about emotions. And so I would think that this year for you would bring up a lot of emotions. Thank you. I would think that. Kim Ann says, should we journal what we want to end and move on from? Absolutely. So absolutely, Kim. Great question. Thank you for that. Yes. Journal what you're going through, what you want to end. What is it that you're ready to let go of now? Like, is it, forgiveness? Do you have to have forgiveness for people? And you forgive for yourself. Are you able to let go of the person that, really screwed you over, or that, the betrayal or the abuse, because to hold on to it. And I'm not saying it's just like, woo, let go. I mean, it's not like that. Obviously, I'm a therapist, and it could mean if you want to let go of this stuff, it may mean that you need to really go inward with some good therapy. And that is a great thing to do too, to go into therapy. If you need help with letting go of certain things. But the thing is, people do need to let go of things that they are holding on to because they can't move forward really with it. And this is a time period in life to get unstuck. That's what these eclipses are going to do. I always say kicking and screaming. It's like, whoop, it's a time period. It is. Okay, Sandy Studner, yes, lawsuits ending. Yes, yes, that is the truth. Okay, Laurel Davies says, I've had your predictions this year. Each happened near the date you mentioned. Yeah, I try to follow it pretty as accurate as I can get. Thank you, Laurel, for that. I appreciate that. Anne Margaret says we need to do more acts of self-forgiveness. Absolutely, to let go of the old ways. So true. I don't know what Tau calligraphy is, but Ho'opono I've heard of. That absolutely, Ann Margaret. Anything that works for you to help you. And there's so many ways out there to help you let go of things, to help you learn things. Think of this, again, you're on Earth. Think of it to, you're here to learn. What are you going to learn? You want to learn about yourself. You want to learn about others. Everybody comes to learn a lot of things here. And so again, the eclipse will put us over here, or over here, or over here, wherever you need to be, in order for you to grow and learn. And holding on to the old, whatever the old is, it is actually doing you harm, because you're not moving forward. And let's remember, we're only here on Earth for a small amount of time. And, when we're young, we think, oh, we've got plenty of time. That guy's an asshole. We've got plenty of time. And And then what happens is you get a little older and you realize, you start getting a little wiser, hopefully. Not everybody does, but I think the majority of people do. And when you get a little older and wiser, why am I holding on to this? You probably can't even remember anymore. So think about that. Okay. Think about that, because you just never know what you're here to do. So, okay, yeah, Kim Ann, you had a total eclipse. That's right, in Nashville, and you'll never forget how crazy it was. Absolutely. Stacy Ross says, I was in a full total in 2017. After it happened, we all felt off. Thank you, Stacy, for saying that. Yes, because the energy, imagine these planets and the sun and the moon lining up. It's pulling energy. It is intense. So thank you for saying that. I mean, it just is. Okay, Vicki says in New York, it starts at 2:10, peaks at 3:25, and ends at 4:36. Thank you, Vicki, for that. Yeah, Vivian, Niagara Falls is going to be some time here, isn't it? Connie Epley says, I was there. I was in one once. The house got eerie and darker, and it was amazing. Several months later, we moved to a different location. Yeah, move is huge. I mean, if you can imagine that 2017 one for me, we had this 2017 eclipse, born and raised in Beverly Hills, California. And then the eclipse happens. Can you imagine? I moved to a farm in Wisconsin. That was a shocker. Honestly, a shocker. But it did bring amazing things to me. So Dawn DeGroat, could it mean wonderful things? You bet, honey. And thank you for saying that. Yes, Dawn, it can bring, because ultimately, I love living on the farm. I love it. I would have never imagined. I mean, really, I would have been voted in high school the least likely to leave LA. So, yes, it can bring extraordinary things, of course. And I've been talking about the negative part of it, but it can bring extraordinary things. It might take a little time to get there, but ultimately it can bring amazing things in life. Okay. So Melissa Calcitrice, she says, Kelly, because of the Mercury retrograde already upon us, with the total eclipse of the sun, will the effects of Mercury retrograde with the eclipse become stronger and more powerful? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. It will. Everything. And not only that, remember, it's also Vedic New Year. It's a Gandanta point. It's the devil's, comet. It's so much packed into one day. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Okay, Lori Lutterby, yeah, it already started with the bridge collapse and Taiwan's earthquake. That's correct. It has already started. Yes, absolutely. So this is going to be an amazing thing. Okay, Amy Augustine said, I heard they are also restarting the Hadron Collider at CERN in Switzerland. I heard that too, and I don't know how to explain. If anybody knows how to explain that, I don't know how to explain it, but I heard that too on April 8th, and I have to tell you, I thought that was a little odd. But, I mean, of all the time. So, yeah, it seemed a little funny. Christine Salisbury, Kelly, do my knees feeling achy have anything to do with the upcoming eclipse? It could, because it does affect the body. Because this, great question. Thanks for reminding me. Because this one, in Vedic astrology, it's in Pisces. Pisces is water. It's water. And it means emotion and water in our body. Okay, so yes, it could absolutely have, because it's mind, body, and soul, everybody. So absolutely, it could have a tremendous amount of things on the body. Okay. Okay, Lisa Maitland says, if this solar eclipse can be felt for up to 10 years, and we are making positive changes that are meant to be, the more good would come in the next 10 years. Yes, involving spirituality, you betcha. And let me tell you what, we're going to see all kinds of new ways of healing because of the other conjunction on April 20th. I mean, April is just mind-blowing of the aspects. As astrologers, we have been waiting for a long time for April, but April 20th will also have everything to do with advanced spirituality, advanced ways of technology, of healing. And it's going to be amazing to see the people that change professions or change careers into going into healing. I think we're going to see a lot of advancement in healing illnesses. Oh, this is really going to be an extraordinary time. Okay, April 8th, would I cancel a cranial sacral treatment? Linda Reynolds, thank you for that question. Keep it. Keep that. Cranial sacral treatment, if anybody hasn't had it, it's where they do special kind of massage on your head, and it's extraordinary because it helps with trauma. Keep that, Linda. That is something I would keep. Anything that you're doing to heal yourself, I would do. Like something like that, I would keep. Massage, I would keep. Healing, I would keep. But things like going to the dentist, I would not be doing. Things like even doctor visits, I just would not be doing any of that. I just would not be doing any of that. So what else here? Let me see. I thank you guys for sending me so many questions, and I'm so sorry that I couldn't get to all of them. I'm trying to get as many as I can here that I had promised that I was going to answer here. Let me see if I can find them. I think I don't have them anymore. Oh, here they are. Oh, they are. Okay, sorry about that. Let me see what else I have here. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Where can I go for this? Okay. So modern day nomads. Kellee, I love your show. What is the biggest change the eclipse will make in my life? And you are in June 12th. And so here's the thing. June 12th it's a 5 of diamonds. 5 of diamonds is all about change. So I would think that it would bring you closer to spirituality. That's how I'm going to answer that. That's what I'm going to have. So remember, everybody, don't make important life decisions starting tomorrow, 3 days before the eclipse, then the eclipse on the 8th. No big choices on any of these days. 3 days after, no choices. Okay, the energy is too disruptive and chaotic. And remember, if you can, stay home. Just rest. Great day for resting, okay? If you can, eat lightly, no alcohol, just really nourishing foods that maintain a clear mind. And then do some sort of special ceremony where you might light a candle, or you might stay in meditation, or you might journal, and get as grounded as you can. I will leave you with this, that the energy around April 15th, things get a little better. Okay, it gets better because the intensity of the next several days, you will feel it. So you will feel it. So, thank you, Don. You're so welcome. Happy solar eclipse, everybody. I can't wait to hear the stories of all of this. And yes, go to my Facebook page. I do a lot of Zoom meetings, and on my calendar. Thanks for reminding me, Vicki. My calendar for May is up. So if you would like a session, I'm also thinking about adding a Saturday once a month to my sessions, because I know a lot of people want to see me on a Saturday. So, and then join Janelle and James and me on Monday for Both Sides Now and Beyond when we talk about talking to the dead, another favorite subject. So everybody have a great eclipse. I can't wait to hear about it for everybody. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Talk to you later. See you next Monday.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.